What I have here on my palette is the colors that I like to use. I am substituting the red, the blue for purple. So I have a purple here, I have red, and I have yellow. Typically, some people use yellow, red, and blue to mix for their skin tone. But I'm going to be using the red and the violet and the yellow for highlights for and undertones for skin. I also have burnt umber brown, and this is for acrylic students. And I have a burnt umber and a burnt sienna. The two different the two that are different is burnt sienna has a red undertone, brown, and burnt umber has a darker undertone for brown. That means that if you are African American like me, you will use more of the burnt umber. And then if you are not, you will use more of the burnt sienna. Also, here you can't see it as well, but I do have my white right over here in this corner. So I'm going to scoot that over just a tad. So I have my white. The first thing I like to do is always start light to dark. So here I drew a face, just a regular size oval shape for the face. We obviously know that you will already have your eyes, the nose, and the mouth drawn in, okay? I like to test my paint to my skin. So if I'm painting a portrait, you will notice that my whole hand is painted up with little dots of skin tone color. So what I do first is I'm going to take my white because you're going to paint in the T zone. What is the T zone, Miss Sherman? It's like an imaginary T on the face. And if you was to take a photo of that person and you will see that the highlights are in the T zone. It's like a cross. So I'm going to take my white with a little bit of my yellow. And since I'm doing my skin tone, no, I'm going to choose mm, Reese's skin tone. Okay. So he has olive skin with more red undertones. So I'm going to take a little bit of that red and add it with the yellow and the white and my burnt sienna. I'm not going to take the burnt umber because it creates a darker version. And so I'm looking at over at Reed's skin tone and I'm going to go with his T zone, the lighter. So I mixed that yellow and that red and the burnt umber, but now I'm adding some more white because I want the highlight. And so I'm going to create the T zone first, down vertical in the center, and then across where the cheek and the nose meet. So that's my T zone. Then I'm going to take more of my burnt umber and mix it into my T zone highlight color and start to gradually fade and blend the other shade of brown in. Notice how I don't have any eyes, nose, or mouth on here yet. Okay? I like to do just the values of the skin, get those shadows and shades in, and then I start to add in the features of the face. Okay? Now, as I go gradually toward the edge, if you notice, I'm starting to add even more brown, burnt sienna, to my white. I'm going to pull in some of those reds, and now I'm going to get that purple. Okay, and I'm putting a little bit of purple in there. Why am I using purple, Miss Sherman? Because of shadows. Okay, so on Reed's face, I see that he has some shadows along the contour line of the face. Okay, if you do makeup, you know what I mean about contour, right? I'm contouring and giving that shadows on his face, using that more of that burnt umber and that violet. Okay, I'll sprinkle in a little bit of red. Okay, and I also want to contour along the edge of the face before I go into hair and before I go into anything else. Let's pretend that this is Reese's hair. I'm going to get some burnt umber.